Men, Monday meditation, we're here again. I'm finding myself following a kind of natural progression with these videos now, because in this week's meditation, what we're going to do is be discussing why men need to seek pain. Now, on the surface level, you might be thinking to yourself, Joseph, what do you mean men need to seek pain? Am I a masochist and am I some kind of sadist? And what I mean by men trying to seek pain is it is born out of our current cultural predicament. We live in mummy culture. We live in a effeminate culture in this moment. What I mean by effeminate is men being raised with an absence of masculine energy, and that is predicated on last week's discussion. So if you kind of want to, if you find yourself stuck in the middle of this, you might want to go back to why I discussed why men need role models to get a kind of frame for where we're going here. But men need to seek pain, and I'm talking to the modern millennial here. So if you're between the ages of what would you say, 16 to 25, maybe even older than that, but I understand that a large majority of you are raised in an environment where you are cultured. And what I mean by that is none of you have gone out and really experienced the real world. And maybe I'm not speaking to everyone here, but a large majority of you have been sucking on mother's teat until you were 25. Heck, I know some 30-year-olds who are still sucking on mama's teat. So the idea here is a objective commentary to what is happening in the world at this moment. And I'm currently here in lockdown, and I'm observing how most men are leaderless, are irrational, are ungrounded, are not basing themselves, not using this time to do constructive things that are going to be resourceful for the character they wish to become. Instead, it's, jerking off, watching Netflix, binging on TV and movies and things of this nature. And it's really a consequence of this instant gratification world we live in, which is an effeminate world. When we are, I'm trying to think of the better word for it, but it is the reaction of an individual who has been raised by their mother and has unconsciously absorbed some of that feminine energy. And the reason why this is so dangerous is because it only teaches you one half of the world, and it is the one half of the world you need not worry about. We talked last week about how your mother and father are two maps. You need both the masculine and the feminine in order to move through this world. If you are raised on the feminine map, you will only see things in a feminine way. If you are missing the masculine, well, that's what's happened. That's why we're in the predicament we're in. We have lost the masculine map. And part of the masculine map is going out and seeking pain. Feminine is comfort. Again, we talked about yielding. And if you think about this image here, this is the female genitalia, and the male genitalia is penetrative. And I forget the author of the book, but the book The Way of the Superior Man talks about this quite a lot. But you should be approaching the world as a man in the same way you approach your woman. And that is to go out and to penetrate the world, to penetrate your woman. And we've lost that as men. We've lost that in our approach to life. We are sitting at home, like I said, not being productive and being coddled. This is primarily the experience most of us have had, is we've been coddled by mother and held close to our breast and we do not wish to go out and experience the harsh natures of the world. And that is why I've titled the video as such, because I really believe the antidote to the effeminate world most of us are living in today is to go out and seek pain. I don't mean seek suffering, I mean seek pain. And one of the most destructive ways you can do that is by doing practical things that induce a process known as hormesis. And I discuss hormesis in, if it's not out already, it would have been a previous video, or it's coming out, but I speak about this idea called hormesis. Hormesis is a biological effect or a biological practice whereby you induce the body voluntarily to a stressor. And the reason you induce the body to a stressor is because it inhibits a natural, beneficial biological response. It's not just mindless masochism or sadism. You're not inducing pain for the sake of inducing pain. You're inducing pain for the promise that it's going to benefit you in the future. Now I'm going to kind of conclude this video on several ways you can do some practical things to induce practical pain. And here are my most effective and ones I practice daily that allow me again to start building up this map of the masculine. I start my day with a cold shower. I don't enjoy cold showers. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. I would much rather have a warm shower. But there's something about going into the pain of a cold shower. I read something, I believe it was on Twitter, or it might have been another YouTube video, but it was something along the lines of, when I take a hot shower, I come out feeling cold. When I take a cold shower, I come out feeling warm. And I think that kind of poetically describes what I mean by when you take a cold shower. It sets you up to the day. It ignites that fire in you, because you know that every day is a battle to penetrate the world, like I kind of referenced earlier. So we have cold showers. After I have a cold shower, I meditate. Though not a hormetic effect, meditation is the most powerful and beneficial habit I've injected into my life thus far. And again, it's kind of off the topic of pain. I'm going to cover it more comprehensively in another video, but if you're not meditating by now, you need to start a daily meditation practice. It is invaluable to you. And I will that video will come up soon, because it's something that all men need to do. Lifting weights. You have to lift weights. This is the first thing I adopted when I was 14, 15. Lift heavy weights. Again, I'm conscious to not make this video too long, but I don't want to. I will make a video going into more detail on each of these practices, but you must lift heavy weights. It's not enough to just do cardio or calisthenics. Calisthenics is good. If you're completely new to the gym, start calisthenics, bodyweight exercises, push-ups, pull-ups. But you want to be lifting weights. You want to be seeking pain. You want to be under the weight of a barbell, because that's how men are made. And there are a couple other ways to induce pain. How could I forget? You must fast. Fasting, my friends, is so, well, it's another form of hormesis. It's another way to induce this mild stressor in the promise of getting a beneficial biological response. And I do believe, again, there are some videos that are going quite extensively about this. I know I'm kind of fobbing these off and saying, go and watch my other content, but I want to make this as more concise and more thought-provoking, rather than try and show off with some fancy beneficial effects, what they're going to do for you. I'm not here to do that. And again, my other videos speak for themselves, but what I'm trying to the fundamental premise I want to leave you with this evening is weak times produce weak men. That is, your environment is the perfect reflection of yourself. If you're comfortable, you know, with a belly full of food, nice warm showers, you know, you've got all your Netflix and movies available to you, that is going to breed weak men. If you put your environment where there is no food readily available for you first thing in the morning, where all you have to do is have cold showers in the morning, where you must suffer under the weight of a barbell, hard times produce strong men. Men need to seek pain. So seek it. And I think I'll leave on that. And I'll see you next week for another meditation, brothers.